we encourage as people to peacefully protest and not entice the police.
This weekend in Chicago, we will see people taking to the streets to protest against NATO, war, and military imperialism in a broader fight for political reform, economic fairness, and social justice. The right to protest is an important American tradition that has been necessary to make many historic steps forward for our civil liberties. Just as people like Jane Addams and Martin Luther King have led the way in the past, this tradition carries onward today with the Occupy movement and the thousands of activists and grassroots organizations who are coming together to protest NATO this week here in Chicago. We want to make sure that people can freely exercise their First Amendment rights for free speech, freedom of assembly, and the right to a redress of grievances. The people taking to the streets are our family, our friends, neighbors, and fellow workers. These are also people who have legitimate concerns and the right to take to the streets as a means to raise awareness of their issues. Too often, the corporate media only focuses on the chaos and the conflict, reporting on stories that are sexy or violent. This often overshadows and silences the message behind the protesters, who are normally peaceful and nonviolent. We don't want riots to break out between the police and protesters, as was the case in the 1968 Democratic National Convention. We want to see people taking to the streets and taking the advice of Gandhi to be the change we want to see in the world. In order to bring peace to the world, we first have to bring peace to our streets and bring peace to ourselves. So we hope that the people will take to the streets in numbers. We want you all to have a safe and peaceful protest. We'll see you on the streets. In solidarity, multikulti, and the Chicago Independent Media Center.